Okay, scrimmage number 2 and the last one of the season is tomorrow. Will this season come down to one position, the quarterback position? Let's get to it.
Okay, what is it tonight?
Okay, so we're getting down to crunch time. Tomorrow, Saturday, will be the second and I believe last scrimmage before we head into Howard, or before Howard comes to and visits SHI Stadium for the opening game of the year. And there's one aspect that a lot of people believe, that if there's one element, one component of the team and offense in particular that absolutely will be the X factor. Hate to break down a team's success or their season to one player, but I think Travis Hollenix was right. Watched him the other day or yesterday, and he said it's going to come down to Ethan Kaliakmanis. Don't disagree. You've talked about this. Rutgers is basically the Jets. The reason why Jets are 7-10 and not going to the playoffs is quarterback position. And we know about the struggles at quarterback. So if Ethan can do a good job running the offense and being that game manager, that will make all the difference in the world between us being a PFF 6-6 team and a team that I feel could be at least 8-4. I like 9-3, possibly double-digit wins. So what does Ethan have to do? His completion percentage is 53, 54%. We're not going to relive what happened at Minnesota with, player, coach turnover, yada, yada, yada. He has to get to 60%, and I think he can do it. He sometimes gets a rap for not being accurate, and yeah, he misses some passes, but I don't think he's an inaccurate passer. His scouting report is when it comes to, they said he has good touch and he has very good touch downfield. If there's one element to our quarterback play over the past few years that absolutely positively has not been part of the game, that is touch on the ball. And we know what Gavin loved to do. He was always throwing that fastball no matter where the ball had to go. He would miss high, he would miss low, he would throw behind the receiver, and he would miss long. So having touch, I think, is going to be the single most important thing regarding executing a short to medium passing game. So I feel like Ethan could manage that part of the game's process. He's going to be on his way, and the offense is going to be on their way to having a pretty good, productive season. Yeah, one of the things that he before we get on to that, what he kind of needs a little work on. If you remember Big Ten days, Yogi Roth was there on campus a few days back, and he talked about how explosive the offense was. But what he said was the passing game had timing and tempo. So when you consider the ability to, ball placement and having touch and having timing and tempo is going to be extremely important. This isn't going to be, okay, what's Gavin going to do? Is he going to hand it to Kyle, or is he going to take off? And if Kyle gets 6 yards and now it's 2nd and 4, you try to throw a quick out or something underneath, and Gavin, throws it 3 yards behind them, your offensive series are kind of choppy. So having tempo and rhythm is going to be important, and I think Ethan can do that. Needs a little work when he's under pressures. He tends to be a little bit inaccurate when he's under pressure, but here's the deal with an improving and more consistent and an offensive line with more depth is going to help him out in that area, as well as having a great running game and a deep running back room to help take the pressure off Ethan feeling he always has to make a play. When he's under pressure, we have a little more balanced approach on offense. You know, you hit those quick outs, those crossing patterns, and please, 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 a screen pass every once, in a while. That would be really, really helpful. You know, Coach said he handled the operations of the offense well in the scrimmage, so that's what you want to see him do. Don't try and play hero ball. Execute the offense, will be fine. So that will be the one thing that's going to determine how well Rutgers does this year. Now, there's a couple other things that are extremely important as well. Maybe not quite 1 or 1A level of eighth end, and that's the wide receiver room. Best wide receiver room we've had in a while. Best athletes. Nice size too, by the way, that we've had in a while. We kind of know, I guess, who's number 1, 2, and 3 is going to be. It's going to be Daimir, right? It's going to be Dremel in the slot. And, actually, Richard and Mike from the night report were saying how they don't know if they see Brantley is going to be penciled in as number 3. Might be Chris Long, might be Ian Strong, but nonetheless, again, it's a good problem to have. I wouldn't necessarily look at it as, hey, nobody's separating themselves, but maybe these guys are like pretty close, and that gives you some opportunity to get more guys into the lineup and help you make some plays on offense at the wide receiver position, because we desperately need it. Here's the other thing that I thought about that you can only think about when it comes to basketball, playing small ball, or you can play big. I mean, when you look at, Brantley's 6'3", 210. Pamatore, 6'3", 215. KJ Duff is 6'4". Ian Strong is 6'3". These are, this is a big wide receiver room, and if you're an offensive coordinator, you got to be chomping at the bit to design plays to get these big, lanky receivers to make plays, in addition to having a little bit of small ball with Daimir Miller, Christian Dremel, Chris Long. You can play a little, a little bit of... I don't know if you remember the Smurfs. I believe it was the Houston Oilers years ago. These guys are all like 5'9", 5'10", but fast as hell and can make plays underneath. Nonetheless, it's going to be important for the wide receivers to be able to distinguish themselves, create separation, make some plays, make big plays. Scouting report on Daimir is, once you get him into space and there's green in front of him, bye-bye. He's out of here. We haven't had that in a while. We saw some of it with Bo Melton. So if Daimir has a little bit of Bo Melton in him, gets a little more productivity, I think that'll go a long way for the rest of the receivers to make some plays, taking as Daimir is breaking loose downfield or underneath, Dremel be in the slot. Brantley, KJ Duff could be the contested catch guys. Ben Black, you work in there, you could get him one-on-one on matchups. Chris Long, you get these guys with some speed, and you have a versatile, well-rounded wide receiver room. So that'll be point 1B for us to be able to get to the 8-4, 9-3 double-digit team this year. And the other thing that's pretty important, but there isn't as big a sense of urgency on it as you would needing really good play out of the quarterback position, and that's getting the defense getting the quarterback on the ground, getting the sacks. We know how this defense is very good. We know how the pass defense is very good. That front seven could be monster. I mean, Wesley Bailey, FSU transfer, Malcolm Ray, Keontae Hamilton, Aaron Lewis. If these guys, when you get the pressures and you just miss the guy, it always seems that when you just miss him by a hair, they're completing a pass underneath, the guy takes it for a big game, throw it across the middle, crossing pattern, he gets it, or a deep shot. If that front seven can get to the quarterback, knock guys on the ground, don't put the pressure on the secondary to have to make plays, that'll be big. That can change possessions of the game, help us get some turnovers, and put the fear of God into the offense that, hey, these guys are going to be at your feet and in your face every play. I mean, our linebacker room has the potential to be ridiculous. Tyree Powell, Monterey, Moses Walker, Darian Jabome. I mean, it's probably, you're not going to I know people are looking for Aaron Lewis to be the big sack guy, but if you can have a bunch of guys with 6-7 sacks, that might be a way to go about this. In addition to the secondary, I mean, this secondary is Eric Rogers, Longabee, Bo Masco, Al-Shadi Salam, Kevin Levy. Don't sleep on the safeties as well. This safety room is really underrated. I mean, Flip Dixon, Desmond Igminosa, Shaquan Loyal. Watch out for Carr Sanders, freshman. He might be in there making some plays. So if you allow these guys to make some plays while you're you're in the quarterback's face, getting them to the ground, wrapping them up, this could even be a better year for this defense, in addition to all their experience. So those three things. Ethan has to play like a number one quarterback. Wide receivers have to make some plays on the field and some explosive plays. And then defense needs to get to the quarterback, get him to the ground. A couple other things in closing before we move on. Congratulations to Logan Ryan becoming a college football analyst with CBS. Rutgers is creating quite the pipeline of media guys, so congratulations to him. And we all saw this today. Was kind of surprised, taken aback by Pat Hobbs resigning. I know the first thing that comes to mind is, my goodness, I hope nothing went wrong that will damage the program. But, Pat apparently has some health issues, and people speculated that it might be related to his health, specifically his heart. And as it turns out, that actually is the case. We wish Pat well. He's a young guy. He is a few years younger than me, actually, and I wish him all the best. He is a big reason why Rutgers is taking a big step up, and this will be our biggest year regarding athletics that I can remember in forever. Might have to go back to the 11-0, 1976 11-0 football team and the Final Four in basketball. This is big now because we're not an independent. We're with the big boys now, and this is a big season for us. And he is a big reason for that. Despite missing, with Chris Ash, whenever you hire a defensive guy from Ohio State, you expect better than that. But Chris was kind of out of step with how to approach recruiting and coaching in New Jersey, and it showed. Nonetheless, a little tip of the glass. What else would we do a tip of the glass with other than one of Rutgers' favorite sons and best bourbon, Eric LeGrand's bourbon whiskey? So cheers to Pat Hobbs. We wish you well. If you do enter into retirement, best wishes and good luck and best of health in retirement. We'd love to see you around Rutgers. You are a big part of our current success. Cheers, and we will see you the next time.